Afternoon. I'm Benjamin Brown. The reading that I chose that really stood out to me was What Does One Do to Get Fired Around Here? I chose this because it was really on a personal level. Being in education for a while and seeing great teachers and then seeing some not so great teachers, this reading really stood out to me. One of the major things that I'm actually was currently dealing with just teachers who are just not delivering instruction the way they need to, who are just not good for the profession, and their test scores also shows that, and it's also the lack of classroom management amongst different things. Now, are they great people? Yes, they are great people. But then you look at it and say, well, this person has been in the school district or been teaching for a while. It raises a question of what do you really have to do to get fired around here? Um, so again, that's kind of the thing that drew me to this article. One of the other things that because it addresses one of the most difficult responsibility that school leadership must encounter, and it's really the piece of holding uh, employees accountable while following appropriate legal and ethical procedures. Just a little bit about that. I had a teacher. Like I said, wasn't really doing what she needed to do. Parents complained, test scores were bad. Then documentation district came in to help. But then when it came down to the final straw, we were told by the district, hey, we got to follow these certain amount of protocols and procedures, or X, Y, Z might happen. So again, reading this and then start looking at the legal and ethical procedures, it really kind of opened up my eyes to what all has to take place before someone get fired. And again, I want to preface this as not saying that I am out to take someone's job. However, an inefficient job is leading our students down a negative hole that will be hard for them to build out or hard for them to grow from. So this reading really stood out to me. It emphasized the ineffective employees' performance should not be ignored or tolerated simply because dismissal is difficult. It just means that we have to go through the process. We have to go be consistent in documentation, performance concern, provide clear expectations to them, offer meaningful support and opportunities for improvement, and as well as follow the district policies and everything. Make sure that this teacher has due process before making employment decisions as well. It also highlights the importance of fairness, consistency, and maintaining thorough documentation to protect both employees' rights and the school district. Um, Again, I found this meaningful because it reinforced that effective leadership requires balancing compassion with accountability. And I would use this information by ensuring that performance concerns are addressed early through coaching, professional development, regular feedback, rather than waiting until the problem becomes severe. Because it's when those problems become severe that we seem like we want to do something about it when it's actually been brewing for a while. So before it becomes severe, learning to address it ahead of time. Again, with it, I also make sure that I will have accurate documentation, that I'm always following the letter of the law and district policies, and making sure personal decisions. Make sure that it's not a personal decision, and make sure that it's that I'm transparent, that I'm equitable, and I'm focused on improving student learning. That's the major thing is improving on student learning. This reading reminded me that accountability is an essential component of building a professional culture where all staff members are supported and held to high standards.